was so happy it was you.
Hi,
everyone! This is Jocelyn and Trey.
Happy New Year!
I'm so happy, you guys. And when I found Jocelyn, I found this amazing queen on Clubhouse. But before I get into that, okay, I'm gonna take a breath and I'm gonna introduce myself.
Yes.
It's Wednesday, and you are at Laugh and Learn Lunch with Trey. I am known as the transformational energy trainer because after I healed myself from paralysis, now I teach others to release that deep physical, emotional pain and disease. Yes. And matter of fact, tonight I am having my weekly Heal and Empower hour, you guys. So get in here, get in my message right now, and just type in the word heal, HEAL, and you're going to get the link. You could still sign up. It's going to be in a few hours from now. It is still time, but if you can't make it every Wednesday, you guys, if you're ready to release the self-doubt, all of that low self-esteem, if you're ready to boost your confidence, if you're ready to get into your power and transform in 2023, I want to see you. I want to see you type in heal, and my little bot's going to come back and it's going to give you something. So that's me. You're in Laugh and Learn Lunch, and you guys, this is Jocelyn.
Yeah! Hello. Hi. But guys, really oil up before you slide into her DMs because no one likes chafing. But hi. What's up, everyone? I'm Jocelyn. I'm a funny female Filipino from Los Angeles. My family's first generation, born in the United States. Yes, I'm one of the lucky ones. I started doing stand-up sitting down on Clubhouse, where Trey found me, like less than 24 hours ago.
And I knew it, and I hopped fast. And she hopped fast too.
I know. I was like,
I always got too fast. And I was like,
or next month. Okay.
And I thought, this is my thing. I'm all about laughing and learning because, I was not the student that could sit there, and I was sick and tired of the teachers telling me to shut the front door, to smack me to be quiet. Don't move. You're too fidgety. You're too, well, guess what? Now I can get to do whatever the flip I want. So I get to, and then, so I'm like, I want to laugh while I learn. And then, so I said, who better to start off 2023 with than a comedian? And you guys, when I heard her on Clubhouse, let me tell you, she just started talking. I was already back channeling him. Hi, Judah, how are you? Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year. So I was like, girl, I would love to have you on my Laugh and Learn Lunch. And and I woke up and there was a meeting, and I was like, yes, hi, Judah.
You got to strike while the iron's hot. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And that's what I do. That's basically like my comedy story. I've been talking about seriously doing stand-up comedy for about a couple of years, 2018, 2019, then 2020 happened, right? And then in 2021, I was invited to join Clubhouse, and literally I got the invite at 5 a.m, and then 6 hours later at 11 a.m, I found myself in an unlicensed Laugh Factory comedy workshop. And I mean, I have an abridged version of my comedy origin story where literally like, I used to work for the developmentally disabled. Okay. And in case you didn't know, it's actually kind of hard to get fired from taking care of crazy people. You yourself have to be a little crazy to do the job.
Exactly.
And so it was early in the morning. My client was like fast asleep, taking a morning nap. And I literally I ran to my car. I jumped in. I literally grabbed a Post-it note and a pen. I just started scribbling like the first thing I thought of that I've been saying over and over again for years that I thought was funny. And so sure enough, I raised my hand and I popped my speaking cherry on Clubhouse in the Laugh Factory Comedy Workshop. And so I did 3 minutes. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was like, this is funny. When it comes in that moment, I just told myself, I say this all the time because I think it's funny. And
Clubhouse is so safe because nobody can really see you.
Right.
And worst case scenario is they're gonna kick you out of the room or something because I've had that happen too.
Yeah, and so I was just like, F it, I'm gonna here we go, And then I got 3 minutes, and then I did my thing for 3 minutes, and it was fun. And like I said, I'm on medium.laughwithjocelyn.com. I wrote my little abridged version of the comedy origin story, and yeah, because I don't want to give it too much away, but I guess this is why I would be here to do it. But yeah, no, it was fun, and it was funny though because they had like 3 moderators, right? And these are like professional, like legit veteran comedians who like tour the country and get paid, you know. And they're definitely like funny, like I like the energy. And they were like, but where are the jokes? And I was like,
so they're like critiquing you?
Yeah. And I was like, well, in my head, because I didn't know. Okay. Because there's a whole Bible, there's a bunch of books, you know, and I didn't know there's like a whole like structure and recipe that you're supposed to do comedy by. And my thought was like, when I say something and people laugh, you know, isn't
that the recipe?
Isn't that the, you know? But like I'm not even trying to like talk ish about it. But I was just like, okay, and yeah, it's like set up and punch. But ultimately, like I've been using comedy to cope and humor to heal in my entire life. You know what I mean? And so, and even then, in that moment, some girl in the Netherlands, like she DM'd me on my Instagram and was like, "Hey, I'm listening to you live on Clubhouse. Oh my God, you're so relatable. It's so funny. Keep going." You know what I mean? She's like, "If you're ever in Amsterdam, I know someone with a comedy house." And I was like,
girl, I'd come and see you when you come to Denver. When you come to Denver, I will come and see you. And if I'm anywhere where you are, because I loved it. You had me laughing. And then, okay, so this amazing queen out in her IG, I'm watching these little skits and I'm cracking up. And then so as I'm preparing for you know, the interview, I'm laughing. And then some of you know, I have my house full because I'm raising the second set of kids. I have custody of Anthony, who's just turned 19. There's Ronnie, who just turned 15, and Abriella, who's getting ready in March to turn 11. Oh, so wow. Let me tell you, and Anthony did just like me, already has a baby, and that's 2. And so our Tess is here. So I have all I run everything by them. And so they're always hearing me on Clubhouse. And so they know it's so funny because they're like, oh, is that Shantae? Oh, is that, is that Stack Pack? Oh, you know what I mean? And they're always listening. And then I'm like, hear it. And she's hearing you. I go, this is my girlfriend. And I'm playing your little comedy skits. And I'm like, I wish I was there in that audience because I was vibing on one of them where they had that cute little thing and you look so cute. And I was like, I would be in that audience having a great time with you. And this is why I was like, you got to get on here. But you guys know, seriously, because you all know I'm a healer. You all know that I'm really here to freaking heal. And she was cracking me up, but she was being so relatable. And this is why I'm like, nope, girl, there's a style for everything. Who freaking cares? If you're getting the laughs, you do your own flow. That's just what I say. And we attract our people, right? And she's flowing, but she's also communicating about what it's like to have lived her life. And let me tell you, when you aren't the right shade,
I'm about to say, I think we're like the same shade.
I know. If you're not the right shade, and if you have tattoos on your fingers, and if you have stuff, you have a different experience than other people.
That's why earlier I asked you where you're from, and you said Denver, Colorado. What I was really trying to get at is like, what's your ethnic background? Which I get all the time being in LA. People ask me all the time, like, where are you from? And I'm just like, geographic location or like DNA, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so ancestry.com says I'm 51% Native American. Ooh, it says the rest is goulash. I'm like about 26% Spanish. So they were like, Mexican? No. Spain, from Spain, Spanish. Ooh, and then the rest is Asian and African American and there's like the goulash. That's where I go. I got this curly hair from because it don't come from, I don't know. I know, and I love to play with it. So after
I have these, I call it, this is Mufasa.
Yeah. Depending on where I'm at, I could have a fro because if I'm in the humidity, girl,
it's over.
Yeah, I got this growth.
I literally have not done anything with my hair since March 2020. I swear to God, other than just wash it and like comb it, and it's just like he's getting a little unruly, a little wild, but it's okay. I mean, he's still manageable. But no, so that my thing is like, if you had to guess, but I already said it, I guess. So no, there goes that thing. But no, I'm full Filipino, and it's interesting how, and then on Clubhouse, like the thing about Clubhouse, it's like, if you know, and if you don't, oh well. And
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
And if you're not on there, then it's like, okay, but like really, you're missing out. And for me, you're missing out. Yeah.
I don't care what you do or what you want to go on for. I swear, you're gonna.
Yeah.
It has everything.
Changed my life, literally. Like that's where I started doing stand up, sitting down on Clubhouse. You know.
And so, okay, so before that, you never had even attempted to go in a comedy thing or do any kind of skit. Something just energetically said, "Okay, try this," because what else do you got to do? And then what happened? Did you get discovered? What? It just give you the courage to start?
Yeah.
And as you're doing these, did you feel like okay, so this is what we all know is the more we have the courage to stand in our power, communicate whatever it is, even funny, not funny, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then other people relate.
Yeah.
And then you start getting, like you said, these messages, and then it helps you keep going, right? And keep going. So then how did it happen from there?
Okay, so back in the day, like the Clubhouse comedy scene was like popping. You know, they had like a stand-up comedy room from Monday through Friday, 12 to 1 every day. They had these like interesting storytelling rooms. This one guy, Oscar Aiden, used to do a Disappointed like horror story, like sex horror stories. So the first time I spoke on Clubhouse, I did 3 minutes in the Laugh Factory Comedy Workshop. The second time I spoke on Clubhouse was like 2 hours later in the Disappointed. And I shared the story of like a failed threesome in like my late teens, early 20s. You know what I mean? And that was only 2 minutes, and then from there, back then, the Laugh Factory Comedy Workshop, they had workshops every day. They were doing stand-up, like joke workshops, like or workout rooms in the morning and at night. They had joke writing. They had roast rooms. They had clean comedy. They had crowd work. They had all these kind of little workshops, social audio only, where you could learn and stuff like that.
Did you run across any famous people? Because
oh my God,
I swear, since I've been here, I've been in rooms with Snoop Dogg. I've been in rooms with some of the top thought leaders of the world, with Les Brown, with Dr. Forbes Riley, with I could go on.
I got to have a conversation with Dane Cook on Clubhouse, and Dane Cook was the one who told me, fuck anyone who doesn't think you're funny. Forget them. Focus on the people who do think you're funny. Those are your fans. Those are the followers. Those are the people who are going to buy tickets to go see your shows in real life. I was like, okay. I was just in a room the other day with Tiffany Haddish and Faizon Love. See? We were just like shooting the shit.
Clubhouse.
JB Smooth's brother think Floyd's on Clubhouse, and he thinks I'm funny. He loves me, And then drum roll, please. 9 months into it, in January 2021. 2022.
See, something made me get my drum.
I love it. In January 2022, I had a chance, once in a lifetime opportunity, to do 3 minutes for Bob Sumner. And for those who don't know who Bob Sumner is, he's the co-creator behind Def Comedy Jam.
Yes.
He worked alongside Russell, and he thinks I'm great. His piece of advice, and that's the thing. So when I started on Clubhouse doing comedy, when I first started, it was like, oh, if I was gonna do time, I had to be home and I had to be like sitting and I had to be quiet and be focused and prepared. And be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. By the time 9 months later, when I was doing it for Bob Summer, I literally was driving in my car. I was driving and it was like, all right, Jocelyn, it's your turn. I was like, okay, here we go, 3 minutes. And then I just remember looking at my watch, being like, all right, 3 minutes. I was like, okay. And I just was like off the top of my head, just saying the things that I've been saying for the last 9 months. And I just kept going. And I was like, oh, and that's my time, and he was super impressed. His words of advice that I repeat to myself to this day is he told me to stay on stage, just stay on stage, because he had the feeling that, as long as I do that, I could very well be like a household name, and that was an amazing moment, because for me, because when you online social audio, there are things people will say on there that they would not say to your face.
Same person.
Okay?
Yes.
There's so many people who are gonna be quick to be like, that's not funny, you're not funny, blah 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 blah. And it's like, listen, my friend, I'm gonna there's a difference between saying hey, I didn't think that was funny, versus that's not funny, you're not funny. You know what I mean? No, you're
or that the ending was a little flat or something like that, right?
Yeah. My response always to that is oh, so you're telling me if you went to a comedy show and a comedian wasn't funny, you'd go up to them and tell them that? Yeah, you're right. That's what you tell,
right? Yeah, whoever,
exactly.
Kevin Hart, whoever.
So yeah, and then
and I bet you they do, because people like that, what they do in one place, they do in all places. That's what we know.
Haters are gonna hate. They're just going, this haterade smells so good, and they're like.
But then that also means you're doing something, because if you ain't getting haters, then you are not stepping out of your comfort zone.
Right. And so, and that's another. It's been an interesting journey for me. I definitely one of my goals is to definitely write my story about like that moment, the first moment that I started, and then the first year, because like. Within 2 months of doing stand-up on Clubhouse, there was someone, and her and I are actually really good friends. We're fine. We're cool. But like, she was the first person to tell me like, oh, maybe I should stop doing stand-up. Maybe I should just become like some like YouTuber or TikToker or whatever, And at the time, that really hurt. I actually ended up crying on Clubhouse, I was like, and they're like, oh, it's like, you need thick skin. I was like, I have thick skin, but I am also a human. Okay, like if you break me, I'm a blade, But like, and but that's the thing. Like, that's the difference. It's like it's the people who are gonna keep going when someone tells you can't. It's the people who say no, that you know what I mean. Like, and it's just and honestly, like I remember what happened. So I just did an open mic in real life, 10 minutes. No notes, in front of like real people, little students.
So funny.
The LA School of Comedy on Santa Monica Boulevard, run by this wonderful lady named Cinda. I did 10 minutes, no notes, in front of people. It was good. It was great. I was sitting in my car waiting for some friends to show up to go to a party, and I jumped on a Clubhouse, Laugh Factory Comedy Workshop. They asked me to go up. I'm like, okay. And they're like, but then I only get 3 minutes. So then I had to like take 3 minutes out of a 10-minute set. So like I was just going through my notes. I was like, oh yeah, pull that. And I just started like saying different things. I was like, oh yeah, that kind of goes together, And then at the end they were like, oh, are you reading your notes? And I was like, I wasn't gonna lie. I was like, yeah. And then that's where they were like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't or whatever. And it's just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
and to know it, just everybody always has a perception and a perspective.
Yeah.
And some people think
opinions are like assholes, right?
Exactly. We all get one.
We all have one, yeah.
Or many. So I don't know.
Yeah, and then no, it's just it's been incredible. Like I did the potluck at the Comedy Store in Hollywood for the first time last summer in August. That was great. So March, April, May, within a month, I was doing my first open mic, the Witty Titties.
I just love that. In the thing, because you have it on your things, and I'm laughing.
In North Hollywood, California. Yeah.
On her IG, you guys go to her IG. It has the titles of some of these places, cracking me up. I'd love it. Yeah.
And then March, April, May, June, July. 4 months later, I auditioned at the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood, California. That 3-minute audition set is on my YouTube. It's the only video on my YouTube channel right now. I'm planning actually to do a launch where people pay to see my sets. But yeah, so that 3-minute set's on my YouTube. And then got booked for my first ever, real comedy club gig, first bringer show at the Comedy Chateau North Hollywood. I auditioned on July 11th. I had 10 days or 11 days to promote. July 21st, July 22nd. I got 15 of my friends to come out and support me. We did 7 minutes, and it was wild because I even write about it in my story about how that's the night I had an epiphany, where it's like I hear my name, I get on stage, I grab the mic, I move the mic stand out of the way. Okay, everyone, if you're doing comedy and you're new, take that mic stand and move it out of the way, because if it's standing in front of you, people are gonna know you're a rookie. Okay, just a little tidbit there. And I remember turning, and then like you see that bright, blinding white light, and like most people like say something like I just looked at it, and I looked at it, and I remember thinking in my head like, fuck yeah, let's go, and I just did it. It was so much fun. I remember just having like such a good time. And then like right after, I was like outside putting my backpack away in my car because I filmed everything. And on my way out there, this guy stops me. He's like, hey. I was like, hi. He's like, I caught your set. I was like, oh, cool. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I can tell you're new, but like, you're so funny. You had me and my boy like cracking up, whatever, blah, blah. I just have to give you your flowers. Because it's a hard thing that you stand up to. You know, you get up there, you speak your truth, whatever. I was like, oh, thank you. And then little I know, he hands me $50. I was like, you know what I mean? It's like, did I just get paid for my first comedy gig?
That's it. You accept and allow that. You accept and allow it.
And so then literally, here comes my cat. Hello.
Hi,
literally the next day is when I quote unquote officially came out of the comedy closet and started calling myself a comedian by July. So March, April, May, June, July, within 4 months. So for me, it happened really fast. It happened really fast. And then a month later, you know, for me, I realized like, this is what I was meant to do. I was meant to entertain people with my story, because you realize that everything's material, every like conversation, every interaction, every little animal.
Yeah, we're in relationship with everything.
Yeah.
All the time. That's what people don't understand. Yeah. You really are. You really are. And then
one thing
when you be bold and brave, look what happens. You get to materialize something that, even though, yes, people told you you couldn't, shouldn't, wouldn't, you should change, you shouldn't do whatever.
Yeah.
You stuck with it. And look what happened. You are rolling. You are booking places. You guys, she's booking real places. She is showing up. And all from Clubhouse.
Dude,
it
and then
started with Clubhouse.
The second time I ever went on stage, it was actually out of state, because like March, April, May. So in May, I went to Denver. I went to Denver to go see this DJ Zoo at Red Rocks, right? And I was like,
isn't it beautiful?
I was like, gorgeous. I was like, oh, I'm in Denver. Like, maybe I should try doing a show, like comedy. And then I talked to my friends, like, should I do it? It's like, yeah, go. So I reached out on Clubhouse. On Clubhouse, I did a little search. I just did Denver comedy. People popped up. I went to their Instagrams, just oiled up and slid into them DMs and was like, hey, I'm Jocelyn. I'll be in town this weekend. I'm from LA. I do comedy, like, you know. And then sure enough, some guy was like, oh, yeah, show up this day. We'll put you up. I was like, okay. And I thought it was a mic because I was like new. And it was an actual like show. You know, so mic and then show. And I was like, okay, let's go. You know, and everything's like a learning opportunity. And it's
just like this. Yeah. I DM'd her because I loved her. She immediately responded and she was on within 24 hours. And this is how you manifest the life of your dreams. Okay, you guys, remember, I do the monthly vision box party. If you want to get your vision on, if you want to get on the fast track, if you don't already know how to manifest like this amazing queen, let me tell you, just go on my message, my bot, type in the word vision, VISION, and you're going to get the little link the 19th of every month. We're focusing on love this month, because you know, it doesn't have to be love like a partner, because I'm doing self-love. I already knew I'm doing self-love box. So my box is all about self-love. But my friend, she's like, I want a business bestie, because I have my business bestie and she's all jelly, right? So she's like, I would love to have my business bestie. So she's, you know, do you want to manifest a house? Would you love to have a house? Would you love to have a new car? Would you love to be on a stage somewhere, getting booked, meeting freaking important people in your niche who are going to get you to where you want to go? Girl, I'm so excited. Okay, go on with your vision. Manifesting out here in Denver, Colorado. She gets on a stage within 24 hours.
Yeah, and the thing about it, it's like my whole thing, and I might have mentioned it on XP Mentor or wherever, because again, like I've been
you forget where you're at. I know.
I've been writing this story, creating it for a really long time. So like, and for me, it's like I've been saying what I said on XP Mentor, I've already been saying for a really long time. So like, my whole thing is that sorry, I just distracted my cat. That like I think a lot of people right now are like, they're apologizing for celebrating themselves, and that's unfortunate. You know, like, you know,
we got to stop that. That's where we're going to laugh you through that.
You are your number one fan. You know what I'm saying? So like quit shaming people for self-love. You know what I mean? Because self-love is self-care, you know? And
or the belief that other people's validation actually fills you, because in the end, it's you that feels you. Yeah. It really is. It really, your belief in you. And then what happens is when you get other people validating you, like Amazing Jocelyn had so many, even very important people saying, girl, you got this, keep going, keep doing it. Then what happens is I'm like, I picture my wings. And then every time you get that validation, it just gives me some air and lifts me and keeps me going, because there's always going to be the averting tactics.
So I feel like I need to introduce. This is my cat Bailey.
Because obviously Bailey loves the energy and wants to be in the picture.
Oh my God, I swear to God, every time I go live or like FaceTime, she comes right over. And my friends on the internet, like I remember one time I was holding her. And
so it's really the Jocelyn and Bailey show, huh?
Yeah. They're like, what's that sound? What's that sound? They could, I guess on wide spectrum, you could hear her purring. And I was like, guys, I swear to God, my cat will come over and she will make me hold her for like 20 minutes. She just won't bother me. Won't leave me alone until I hold her. So this is that moment. And I think she could be a TikTok star.
She can be. Look at her all talking. She's meowing. She's just like every other child because, honey, when you get the real ones, they do the same thing. If you go to the bathroom, that's their time to invade you. Anytime, or you start reading a book, let me tell you, all of a sudden they got 50 questions. But boy, you put that book down, they're gonna go.
So like, what did I say? I'm all over the place. So I also have ADHD.
Yeah, join the club. And you know what you are? You're really an empath who's receiving a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And so that's why you're like squirrel. And you're like me.
So
I'm like squirrel. I've just learned how to ground it more. But yeah. And I knew when you said that, I laughed. I really believe that everyone with ADHD really is a high sensitive who's just receiving and perceiving more energy. So, and most of us don't have the tools to know how to get it out of here. So then instead we're like, woo!
And I love the people who are changing the narrative from it being like a disorder to it being a superpower.
It's a superpower.
Whatever. Okay. It's like, and then, but so for me as a comedian, it's a weird, like, oh, so that night where the lady on Clubhouse told me to stop doing comedy and I got upset and I cried, I literally ran to another Clubhouse room, on Clubhouse, like literally like right after I ran into the ADHD Entrepreneurs Club, which is, was moderated by my good friend, Ari Scott, who's out in, Australia. I ran to her and everyone was just sharing. And they're like, "Oh, Jocelyn," because again, like I was like, I was like,
go where you're loved, and someone will love you on Clubhouse.
Yeah, and so I tell her, I was like, "Oh my God, all right, this just happened, blah blah." She's like, "Well, fuck that." She's like, "I think you're hilarious. I think you're funny. If they don't want you to do comedy in their club, then you can come here and you can do comedy in my club." And sure enough, next thing I know, I produced the Futures ADHD comedy show on Clubhouse, and so now
here I was birthed.
Huh?
Do that. That's what.
Right. And yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's just such an interesting experience. And then, and yeah. And so, I keep getting sidetracked. Sorry.
No, I don't use that S word. Sure enough. Sure, you're right. I say, cause that's my substitute. Girl, there is no, unless you step on me and then it might even still be okay.
So you said famous people, like I mentioned Bob Sumner. So every morning from 8 a.m. to about noon Eastern, you can usually find me in the Music Networking No Egos club with Rothstein Beats and Bots Worldwide and Jess Jackie, who's GJJPR, and Bob Sumner. A lot of good people there. And they're actually doing a cookout in Houston. So that's a comedy show. So I'll be in Houston on January 25th. Next week, January 11th, I'll be in Burbank at Flappers in the Uncle Clyde's comedy contest or whatever. But yeah, it's just, you can't let people get in your way or say that, oh yeah, good job.
I'm like, you guys, there's her website so you can get all that, or go to Instagram, either one. I've been flashing them both because please, you got to pour into this amazing woman. You guys, we got so much more. Okay? And we still have time. So we're going to hit so many topics because this is critical. Clubhouse, you can be discovered. I don't care who you are. I'm talking, I've been in rooms with Grant Cardone. I get to be in with rooms with some of the most amazing freaking people. I'm not even kidding.
So,
hey, cousin Mike. My cousin's in from Asia.
Hi. So one thing so when I first did comedy for Bob, he'd ask me like, oh, like why do you do stand-up? How'd you get started? And I basically shared this story about how, like I said, I've been using comedy to cope, comedy to heal my entire life. And there's this one time where I was 10 years old. I was in 5th grade. I was 10 years old. And I was at my class and I were outside in PE. We're running around in circles, like for PE. And I hate that I don't remember what I said.
The laps, right?
Yeah, but I remember I was running and I remember saying something like so for me it's like when people are like, oh, what's your comedy right now? I was like, honestly, my comedy is like me sharing like these random like inner monologue thoughts, like saying them out loud, and then people just laugh at them, like straight up. Like that's what happens, you know? And so I remember just running and then I said something. I don't remember what I said, but then all of my entire class was like, just starts riding, laughing. They're like, ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, oh my, and in my head, I'm like, what did I just say, you know? And then my teacher's like, Jocelyn, that's not funny. And I was like, she's like, that's hilarious. And I was like,
yeah, the whole class laughed, just the adult did it.
Yeah, exactly. But then that was a moment where I was just like, okay, like there's something like, okay, like that was the moment where I realized I was kind of like special, you know? But the unfortunate thing okay, now I remember. Woo, roadmap. The funny thing is like, so my parents are foreign immigrants, right? From the Philippines, you know? And when I asked my dad, like, oh, what was it like when you got here? Because when my dad arrived, he was 17 years old, and the year was 1970, you know?
Wow.
So he was a recently imported Asian, you know, fresh off the boat. And I was like, Dad, what was it like? And he's like, racist.
Yeah. It still is, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. You know? And so my parents, I love my parents because like they tried, you know, like they were failed stage parents from the age of 5 to like 10. Okay. They had me acting and singing and modeling and dancing, like ballet, jazz, tap, acrobatics, gymnastics, musical theater, like everything. Right. You know, and I was like, okay, like I was like, yeah, because again,
opportunities. They were giving you all the opportunities.
Yeah, like, you know, they say like, oh, if you keep your kids active, it keeps them out of trouble, you know. And I was like, sure, I don't care. Like, and I was just like extroverted, you know, like doing things, whatever. But I always was moving too fast. I remember in modeling class, I would do the runway like way too fast. I would do the runway like like Jocelyn, slow down, you know. And then like, but then the thing is like, I didn't have the confidence you need as a child to really excel. You know, when you're a kid, you're just like, you know, but I was doing it. And then the sad thing is like, I remember like around the same age as 10 or like in 5th grade, like I remember like thinking to myself, like, you know, I don't see anyone on TV that looks like me, you know, and lacking confidence. I was like, ooh, like, so then I took it as like, well, maybe that means like it wasn't meant for me. And unfortunately, so then I switched gears and I started playing sports like within that same year. You know, my mom says like that's the moment I broke her heart when I told her I didn't want to do that anymore. You know, but then sure enough, here I am like 20 years later, now in my 30s, and I'm like, fuck. All right, well,
you were meant for the stage.
I guess I'll be it. You know, I'll be the first one. You know,
you just weren't going to take it the way they wanted you to dance and sing your way to the stage. No, you're
So now I'm 30. It's like, all right, I'm gonna do
call
it my
people
way.
on their crap to the stage.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, too, the first person I saw in TV when I was younger who looked like me was Rosario Dawson. She's the first person I saw, and I was like, she's not even Filipino. You know what I mean? But she's like our tone. You know, she's like our skin tone. So I have cat hair like all over. And what's even crazier, the movie that I saw her in, the movie Kids. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kids is like.
I know Joe Coy.
Oh my God, I love Joe Coy. Okay, but here's the thing, my friend. Joe Coy is only half Filipino, FYI. So you know.
I know, but that's what makes it gets even more stories.
Right. So my thing is like, I want to be the female full Filipino version of Joe Coy. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at. You know, or like the Filipino Asian or version of Ali Wong. You know, Asian female.
Yeah, because she's freaking hilarious too.
Yeah,
and she's getting around.
So my first. Okay, so I feel like I should just share it. So
you go, girl.
So my debut like comedy bit, the 3 minutes I did on Clubhouse, essentially it's basically about the fact that like I'm an anal virgin, and at one point I just decided to save anal sex for my wedding night. Yeah. No?
Hey, we all get to choose what's important.
Right? And it's
sacred to us.
Right? You gotta keep something a mystery, okay?
That's Instagram.
That's something I've said, and that stems for like my entire 20s. Everyone talking about this, and me being like, I don't know, you know, and like, And me being like, I'm gonna save that.
I'm gonna wait for that. All right.
Like, I'm gonna save that for like my husband if he, you know,
something really special.
Yeah, and then just to make it more comedic and like cringy, campy, I was like, well, shit, I'll just say wedding night because that makes it even more like
special,
a little extra, you know. And so yeah, and so but because of that, you know, female comedians, they get a lot of criticism about how like their initial jokes are like sexual or whatever. Bro, women have been sexualized since birth. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, so why do? Of course, our comedy is gonna stem.
And then you're gonna think that we don't got a freaking opinion about it.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Because we do.
So I recently, or like 3 months ago, I made the leap onto Twitter Spaces because Twitter has their social audio platform, right? Twitter Spaces, right?
Yeah.
So 3 months ago,
I'm happy with Twitter, but yeah, I'm on there too. I'm on all the platforms. So me and this girl, we follow each. We do the same thing. She's like, I'm on all the platforms. I'm on all the platforms. We're doing all because why? We're making big moves.
Yeah, everywhere. Where can you find me?
Here, yeah, and every new thing, she's like, I get on it, and I'm like, same thing. Every new thing, I get on it. Now I'm on Owl. Now I'm on all these other things, and then be on Clubhouse because that really is the thought leader platform. Yeah. They are in it. They're doing things before they're getting out, and I've always known I'm part of that 3%. So of course I attracted my tribe who are doing all the things before everyone else, so that we get to tell you about all the new platforms.
Yeah, and so like damn it, I forgot my thought.
School, anal sex, the wedding night.
Twitter Spaces. Okay, so 3 months ago, I made the leap on the Twitter Spaces, right? And I didn't really know what to expect or what to do. And like for me, I was like, oh shit, this is where all the NFT people went. Okay, you know, like right? Because like, oh my god, they were on Clubhouse, right? Like massive amounts of like
the swarm, and then they all moved to Twitter,
people, you know? Right? And they were huge. They were like, there was like, you'd scroll through so many rooms of like NFT, and I was like, oh god. And then then the wave happened, and they all like they're just like gone one day, like, you know. And then I get on Twitter, I'm like, oh, you know. And so like, yeah. And then like,
I found him. And then
I was like, well, all right, well, I was like, and so obviously like I did a lot of listening at first, and then when I first got invited to speak, I remember I was like, back on Clubhouse, I found myself in an NFT room late one night, right? And I just jump in there, and be like, what's this shit about, you know? So I'm sitting in there, and they're like, oh, let's like, they invite me onto stage, like, oh, we have Jocelyn here. Hi, Jocelyn. I'm like, hi. And like, so what do you know about NFTs? I was like, NFTs, natural flat titties. A lot. And then they thought it was so funny. They're like, you know, I was like, oh. So then I did the same joke on Twitter Spaces, and that kind of like, so then I actually inspired an NFT project, Ross Jace's NFT titties. He heard me say that joke, and then so there's a 101 NFT titty PFP out there. But then in addition, like you know, 99% or not, of stand-up comedians will not do comedy anywhere other than like on a real stage in real life, right? Which is fine, acceptable. I get it. That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, we all have our
different folks, okay. It's fine. But for me, it's like having been born in social audio, having I put so much thought into my writing. You know, they say like, oh, don't get married, don't marry your material, don't, you know. I was like, bitch, like my material's like my blood, my sweat, my tears. You know, like I'm not married to it. It is me. You know what I mean? Like there's no marrying. It's just like, you know, it's, you know. So like, so for me, I have a lot of confidence in what I write. And so when people see you and they say the word comedian in your bio, of course it's gonna be like, oh, Jocelyn's here. You know, like make us laugh. You know, tell us, make me a bicycle, Clam.
Oh, I get it. They're like, it's a switch, turn it on.
But it's fine. It's fine. I welcome every opportunity. So for me in particular, I decided that I was gonna take one little slice of like my big set. I call my sapphire set. Bob Sumner calls it my my cute blue set. I took the dick pic part of that set out. It's like 5 minutes, you know. And I picked this set in particular because like it's hit or miss, you know, like And a majority
either love it or they don't, right?
Yeah, and the majority of people on Twitter Spaces are dudes. A lot of people are dudes, you know. So I remember, oh my God, there's a lot of dudes. Like, my joke is that I made the leap onto Twitter Spaces and landed in like this ginormous sausage fest. And it's like, okay, like I'm an omnivore, but there's only so much meat-headedness I can take, you know. so I already knew that, like, I was going in there with this 5-minute dick picture that I was gonna, like, you know, like I was gonna get hate or love, whatever, you know. And it's so funny how like. And then as recently as last night, I'm sharing this, like this just happened to me where it was the first time ever I've ever been removed from a platform, from a space or a room or a stage, you know? And and it was because like right now, like the buzzword in the ecosystem is what they call it, what thing is bonk, BONK, because it's a new like currency that's going on and whatever. I mean, I don't kink shame. I don't sleep shame. I'm not going to crypto shame, whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat. Right. And so for them, I'm getting known for this dick pic joke set, you know, and some people, guys in particular, are just like sick of hearing it, you know, and guys are the first ones to be like, that's not funny. And it's like,
I know. Even though they think that them jokes are so funny about us.
If 9 out of the 12 people are throwing up laugh emojis, like, can you really say it's not funny? No. And if Bob Sumner thinks it's hilarious and loves it, can you really say it's not funny? No. But I'm like, okay, but you're having a moment.
And he knows real talent.
Yeah, I was like, you're having a moment. Let's hear it. Oh my God. And then for me, because guys are just like, they feel a certain way. And I feel like, honestly, sir, I feel like I get it, but because they're like, oh, you don't have a dick. Like, you don't have a penis. You shouldn't be able to make jokes about it, whatever. I was like, honestly, sir, I probably have handled more dicks than you. Okay. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah. Do you have to get it in your face? I don't know. Some people.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm getting known.
Go there.
So I'm being known to have this, like, you know, they're like, I don't want to hear about dicks or butts. You know, I was like, okay, fine. Like, I actually started writing a Web3 crypto Twitter, like NFT DJ set, because they're people too. Okay. You know, and my thing is like, I started doing comedy because I love that it's a challenge, you know, but I love that, like, I find humor in everything, you know, like when I think everyone's funny, you know, it's just about finding that funny. It's about just like curating that funny, you know, writing that funny down, you know, and that's it, you know. So I started doing my bonk set so basically I'm like, so bonk is like the Oprah Winfrey, like, crypto, where it's like everyone's getting bonk right now. All right, it's like you get a bonk and you get a bonk and you get a bonk. It's like all bonkalicious, like Gabba Bonkadoo, like oh McDonald, here a bonk, there a bonk, everywhere a bonk, you know. So I get like two sentences into this set and I get removed from the space, and I'm like, what the fuck, guys? And they're like, oh, well, we wanted bonk jokes. I was like, I was giving you the bonk jokes, but again, like, I don't know, it's just weird. And like that really
perception.
It was like literally the first time ever I've ever been removed from like a space or a room or whatever, and I wasn't even saying anything stupid or egregious or like being a troll. I was you asked for jokes, I was giving you jokes, and you're gonna remove me? Like, what the fuck? So it's kind of like, I was like, the fuck, like, pick a lane, bitch. Anyways, so I was like really upset. So I don't know, like the Twitter Spaces people have kind of like rubbed me the wrong way and shit, you know. And it's like weird because like the guys want to be made fun of. They like roast me. I'm like, did your mom not hug you enough? Like, what's this about? You know? Like, you want a girl yelling at you? Okay. You know, like, whatever your kink is, that's fine. But I'm here to do jokes, not like, you know. Because, like, roasting is, like, hard, too, because it's, like, with roasting, it's, like, I go with older brothers.
It's such a fine line.
Right. I go with older brothers. So it's, like, if you bark at me, I'm going to bark back, you know? But, like, it's not going to be, like, a deep Doberman. It's not going to be, like, woof. No, it's going to be, like, a little chihuahua, like, Arr! You know? Like, so we
got their ankles.
In fact, I remember the first time a guy, like, and I'm honestly, I love everyone, you know, I'm not here to hate on anyone. Like, part of my thing is, like, I say, I'm a rare comedian. I was born on social audio, you know what I mean? I'll do, you know, and it's like, I'm here to offend the least amount of people. Okay. And like, so
I'm here to make the most amount of people laugh, right? Because that's what you were.
Subjective, right?
Really, you know why I brought her on, you guys? Because what I know is comedy. When you allow yourself to find the humor in everything like she does and I do, and I love it, then your body starts producing a chemical that heals your body. That's why miraculous healing is tied to laughter. And every comedian, I don't care if you look at their backstories, if you study about them, why do they become a comedian? For the same reason Jocelyn did, because that's how they are healing, addressing, working through the pain.
Right. And so like I remember the first time I was on a Twitter space, I'd done this dick pic joke set like at least like fucking 6 times, all right, in this one space in particular. And I kept asking the host, his name's Ross Jace, the guy who drew the titty NFT. I was like, you guys gotta ask Jace, because I've already done this set like 5 times in this room. You know what I mean? Like, so unless he wants it, because what would happen is like in the morning, afternoon, like different people just come through, you know. So I felt bad that like he had heard it, but then the thing about it's like there's some jokes that like no matter how many times you hear them, they're good, they're funny, they make you laugh, you know, they make you giggle. So it was the first time in this day I done this. This is like the 6th time I've done this joke bit, because it got to the point where like do people come like, oh, so-and-so's here, Jocelyn, do your joke for them, see if they think it's funny, you know. And I was like, okay, fine. So I did it again, and I remember the first time this guy was like, Jocelyn, were those jokes? Because I wasn't laughing. You're not funny.
And then didn't that just make you want to laugh? That would have made me just...
And I was like, oh, okay, I see you, you know. And I was like, well, that's just because you have no soul, so you know, black hearts don't laugh or whatever. But then like, so I was like, fuck this guy. Who the fuck are you? You know, I was like, but then and then later on, so for me, it's like, fine, that's right, bitch. I don't care. I like people want to call me a clout chaser or whatever. Yeah, that's right, bitch. Because comedians, we have to chase the fucking clout. All right. Our following is how we get booked. It's not even how we get paid.
And guaranteed, you're booked on the most, all the holidays, all of the events, all of the things. Yes, I know.
I'm honestly, if you think I'm genuinely entertaining and funny, please follow me. You know, like close out the little fed. I'm sure to throw it out there because I'm forced to chase the clout. And at this point, clout is the only C word you'll catch me chasing. Okay.
Yeah.
And so. And I always love, like, I'll settle to that challenge too. Like, oh, you want a challenge? You want, like, okay, you don't think I'm funny? All right, we'll give you some time.
So they have like comedy challenges, kind of like how rappers like will rap against each other.
Yeah, they're roast battles. Those are roast battles. But for me, in that platform, it's like just give me some time. Don't worry. Like, I'm gonna listen, and you're gonna say something, and I'm gonna fucking get you, bitch. Okay, you know what I mean? So we're everyone's like vibing, whatever. And all of this, the same guy is like, he's all talking about like, oh, I got like this big dick, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you don't think your dick is big because you have small hands. Okay. And then like,
it's a real thing.
And everyone's like,
it's a real thing. There's documentation and proof. Because I study everything. I love it. I love it.
And like, okay, so timing and like waiting and whatever. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So when people want to make a point to tell me that like, oh, I didn't find that funny, I'm like, okay, sir or ma'am, whatever, you know, I get it. But the thing about comedy is like, I just don't want to be like pigeonholed a certain way, because and that's the thing. Like, do you know about human design, Trey? You have
Yep, I am a manifesting generator.
Girl, same. Oh my god.
And it goes with the energy and the empaths, and we have a lot of things in common. That's why I looked up with
human design, manifesting generator. I was like, oh my god, this is where I get my.
Oh, I know all the modalities. I know what I am in any kind of divination or I don't care. I know all my planetary moons in astrology. I know all my girl.
Yeah.
Yep. I know my numbers, my numerology numbers, all of it.
I love that.
My destiny card. I'm an Ace of Hearts, the Destiny card. Girl.
Oh, here's the thing. So I have my birthday cards looked up. Apparently, I'm like a king of spades, like a jack or I'm like a king and a jack.
Nice. Because you already know.
Very
came in knowing.
Very alpha, very like, you know, strong, you know, masculine, and they're like, and that's the thing is a lot of guys, you know, struggle with that. Or
and
whatever.
That your masculine energy, even though you're very feminine. Masculine energy is about your confidence. It's about how you move forward. It isn't about our bruteness.
Right.
No. And so this woman, she has no shame in her game. And this is what keeps her. Okay, so wait, before we run out of time, I want to. Where are you at in the world?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay, so you guys, she's out in LA. Who wants to book this queen out in LA? Okay, you guys, because I got peeps all over the place. That's why I love Clubhouse, because we can find peeps everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. So my goals are, one, to write my comedy origin story to inspire other people to get out there, get up, find your funny. You know what I mean? Like, just do it,
See, and you could do it, because what Clubhouse all teaches all of us is how to do a course, right? And you want to get paid, you could build a course on how to become a comedian. But really, basic steps to becoming a comedian, because do you know how many other people want to heal and be funny? I love it. And I cannot wait to meet and see and get introduced to all of these new and amazing people. See, here she goes. I know, girl. I keep mine. I've learned. And then the more I talk, and then I get,
Well, okay. So the thing is, like, so I want to write my comedy origin story, just to get my story out there on paper, inspire the people. That's one thing. Yeah. And then I guess the course thing, obviously, because So, sorry, focus. The last 2 years have been about, curating, crafting my content and my comedy, finding my humor motor, and then and really just like entertaining others, like building my audience and my fan base. I'm really happy with where I'm at, because literally, I've kind of made a name for myself on Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces, and even I'm still a little clownfish. Okay, I'm still a little Nemo, but and that's it. Like, I'm willing to put in the work to get there. I'm not afraid.
And that's why she's gotten on stages in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Because she practiced and she went in every single day. And anything you want to do well, anything you want to get recognized at, you must commit to it. You must practice and rehearse.
Your heart will tell you. Your heart will tell you. Your heart will be like, this is what you're meant to do. This is what your purpose is for. And so for me, ultimately, the main goal is that I want to go on this national comedy tour, right? I want to do this tour because I worked for over 10 years in the film and entertainment industry behind the camera as a first assistant director. So I'm now making that transition from behind to in front of it, And so I know what it's like to produce shows and whatever, and event plan, whatever, all that shit, jazz, whatever. And so for me, it's I want to find out firsthand if America is really ready for my style of comedy. So I see myself.
America, are you ready for Jocelyn? Yes, they are.
I see myself doing this tour, Laugh with Jocelyn, Comedian Funny Jocelyn, from Clubhouse to your house, and now from Twitter Space to your place, and where I travel to each and every city and state, make my way across country and just connect with the people that I've met online in real life, because I'm all about that. I'm all about, my thing is free hugs, I
love hugs. Hugs are great. And after COVID, I was so ready for hugs.
And
yes, so I travel.
You're cool like this. So before COVID, I already knew, because again, I talk about dealing with depression, and stuff like that. And so for me, before COVID, for me, there's 3 H's to happiness. Okay. And they're about satisfying certain needs, like hunger, horny, and hibernate. Feed me, fuck me, let me sleep. Happy. But after COVID or during COVID, there are 2 more H's now: hygiene and hugs.
Yeah.
Wash your hands and then hold me.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. In that order, please.
Yeah, preferably. Yeah. Well, the first 3 is whatever.
I know. It's so
but
good.
I mean, I should want to sleep after 1.
Exactly. Okay, so do you have anything booked that anybody can come and see you
so if you go to my website, laughwithjocelyn.com, I actually have to get the links up, but I am doing I'll be at Flappers in Burbank. I'll be competing in the Uncle Clyde's comedy contest. Yes, oh my god, it's an actual opportunity to make money, being a comedian, doing funny things,
Oh, what? To get paid doing what you love? I don't know.
And I'm actually thinking about debuting my Filipino material. I'm finally starting to tap into that whole Filipino material, and because again, other than Joe Coy, I mean, I'm sure there's
and I guess eventually you had to move away from the dicks and the bonk.
Yeah, because we can't be NSFW
or bonking the dick. Yeah. Who knows?
And you learn. I learned very quickly what blue comedy is. I learned very quickly clean comedy is what gets you paid. It's where you get the corp. It's like C words, right? It's clean comedy gets you paid
Yep.
for corporates and colleges and churches and cruises and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have clean jokes. I do. You know what I mean? My ADHD jokes are clean. My sensitivity joke is clean. My car accident joke is like all that stuff's clean. You know?
Yeah, we got it. And all things to all people, right? You gotta be able to flow wherever you're at.
Yeah. So yeah, and then for me, it's just, you know, I'm celebrating the first time in my life where it's been over a year since I've been on somebody else's payroll, right? And I mean,
congratulations.
I had enough sense in my 20s to just save that money. Fuck it. Just take it, you know? And then to help me survive this last year in my late 30s, you know, and to not, because like if I'm really gonna do it, if I'm really gonna start a business, if I'm really gonna build my brand, like self-employment, solo entrepreneurship, then like I can't work for anybody else but myself. You know what I mean? And so instead of like getting mad at myself for tapping into this retirement fund that I'm not able to touch for another like 30 years or whatever, I was like, fuck it, like we'll just use it, you know? And so so yeah, like I'm just really so this year coming up, 2023, is gonna really be about me curating my content, creating products, like teaching people, like monetizing, you know? Like
hello,
yeah, exactly.
Making money doing what we love. I love that I get paid everywhere I go and doing everything I want to do.
So I guess the first thing is like writing a course, like a book and a course, you know, like I discovered this lady named Eva, but she helps people in Africa do this, you know, for themselves. Her website is kubocourses.com. I don't know. I refer a link. Anyway, but so from her, I got an article that says it lists the 27 digital products that you can make. And I was like, oh, wow. And something was like, oh, shit, you know? So like that really inspired. I read that recently. So that's really inspired me to really like hunker down and just focus on launching the business and the brand that is being funny.
Definitely. I'm excited for that. I am so excited, you guys. I hope you guys have had a fun time with this amazing Jocelyn. I cannot wait to run into you, whether you come out here in Denver or whether I run into, because I travel all the time too. So I'll be watching you on Instagram, and now we're connected on Clubhouse and on Instagram and all the social medias, because I love giving love, and I already know the people I like. So I guarantee you, if
I know the vibe. You know, I know, like, I've accepted this. You either love it or you leave it. And even if you hate it, you might come back for more. I don't know. You know, it's like, whatever.
Or you might hate it so much you'd keep going, oh my God, what is
because then the thing about the is like,
I know I was addicted to people I didn't like a lot either, too. I would be like, what are they saying now? That's so dumb. Oh my God, I got to see what they're saying. And I accept and allow.
But for me, it's like, like people know me. Like I'm known to just come in and like, you know, I change the vibe, you know, and it's like, but I also like, I'm not here to disrespect anyone. I'm not here to like blatantly like insult anyone, you know, like I'm like that. I'm that extrovert that introverts hate, but then like they'll follow in their shadow. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm cool with everyone, so I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I
know exactly what you mean. You're so cute.
But thank you for reaching out. I appreciate this.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it too, you guys. We're winding down this last minute. So I have had, there's the little thing. I'm like, where's my thing? There you go. There's her little website. I'm like, get the pointer thing right. So guys, tap in with Jocelyn. I would love for you to connect and offer her places to say, send her who's having comedy clubs and stuff around, because I love Denver.
That's the thing, I have no idea. And then, you know, I talked to my friend Subhar. She's been doing comedy for over 15 years, and it's even hard for her to go on tour. You know what I'm saying? And she needs an agent. And like, girl, I feel like for me, it's good. I'm gonna be fucking in my car. It's gonna be like road trip, and it's gonna be an RV for my animals. So I can bring the dog and the cat with me. And I
lived in an RV for a couple of years after I left my husband. I was like, yes, I loved it.
You know, and so for me, like I said, like when it comes to like working in the entertainment industry, it's like, don't wait for your break, make it yourself. So basically, this next year is going to be me launching the business to monetize, to make money, so that I can produce my own tour where like I just do it myself. Because like, again, I'm not going to wait around for anyone to do it for me. I'm going to do it myself, you know? And again, I'm very much like find out firsthand, you know?
That's right. You got to do it. Okay, you guys, one more last reminder, Heal and Empower Hour. So if you are ready.
Where?
Tonight I do it's a virtual. I do
Is it on
on
Zoom
the
or
Zoom.
Clubhouse or where?
On Zoom. I do it on Zoom. So you guys
Okay.
just DM me the word heal, and you're gonna get the link to register. It's only $11. I have it once a week. So once a week we get in here and I'm going to give you tools. We're going to help you start identifying how you're receiving and perceiving that energy so that then you could level up. You could start knowing how to shift it, move it, deal with that crazy thoughts, the anxiety or depression, self-doubt, all of these things, anything stopping you from being confident and living your best life. That's it. We're going because it's time for this world to heal. And I like to do it with as much fun and joy as possible. That's why I have this Laugh and Learn lunch every Wednesday. You guys come back next Wednesday, same time, same place. And please get on freaking Clubhouse already. And then you could be in my other rooms because I host rooms almost daily there. I have a Make Money Monday. I have a Transformational Tuesday room. Every Thursday, I have a Discover Your Purpose. We're ready every weekend. Promote your brand. I'm in a networking room every Saturday and Sunday. So if you want, this is how I meet people like this, amazing people that I bring on my show because I'm like,
and it's how and honestly, for me, all I can say is like after almost 2 years of being on social audio and like having to like sell myself and talk about yourself because like I think like you're nobody to anybody, you know what I mean? Like my Clubhouse bio, the first line says you're not funny and nobody cares. You know, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not, but just
and then that makes you want to read more because
but it kind of just reminds me that, like, you know, when you first go anywhere, everyone starts as a nobody. Everyone starts at zero.
Yes, we all start at the bottom.
We all start at zero, but it just depends on how much you put into it and how much work you put. So, like for me, it's like I have like a 3-minute introduction, like just laid out already. You know what I mean? Like so when people are like, introduce yourself. And it's to the point where, like, I know it so well, I'm just kind of like, okay, you know?
Yeah, and from it, you meet amazing people. I am now dear friends with Michael Lozier, the man who wrote The Law of Attraction. That's the way my vibration worked. And I was like, oh my God. So,
yes. Sumner calls me his Filipino niece.
Exactly. So do you want to get discovered? Do you want to, and it doesn't matter what you do. Mm-hmm. Grant Cardone's on there, helping you level up with,
there's a lane for everybody.
Yeah, there's somebody for you.
Or if you mean like me, just traveling all the lanes.
Yes, and get in and see you on those Clubhouse streets.
Yeah, because I just started popping into those big business rooms. So I'm like, fuck, this is where I'm going.
And look at what happened when you did. Because I'm in an XP Mentor family and they help us level up. You guys know I'm always boosting the XP Mentor because I'm a member. I am loving it. So
you need a vibe, you need a tribe, you know what I mean? You need to be around that energy, you know, like support. When a lot of the people who I consider friends and I'm close with on Club, like not a lot, but like you know, you have and they don't talk much and they're quiet. And it's like, no, I need people like pushing. I need people like, you know, I need people just like let's go, you know. That's why I'm in those rooms a lot of time, and I don't even talk. I'm just sitting there like writing or like
because it's the energy.
The second someone's like Jocelyn, I'm like, yes. Yeah, I'm going to be like, yes.
And then I was like, did they say my name? Did they say Tré? And that's how I got you guys. I have over 4,000 followers, and I haven't even been on Clubhouse for a year, so yeah. I love it. Okay, I better hang up because you know we gotta keep this to an hour. I honor your guys' time. Thank you, Jocelyn. I'm giving you a big like computer hug. Until next week, you guys know where to find me. You know how to hook me up. I'm going to see you guys in Heal and Empower Hour every week. Tell your friends. It's time. Transform in 2023. Yes. All right. Love you guys. I'm going to say goodbye. Until next week.